What if being kind, honest, and helpful didn't just feel good, but actually improved your standing in society? Not symbolically, but through a real, measurable score reflecting your character, tracking your actions, and establishing a deeper social trust. We already rely on financial credit scores to assess reliability. So why not a moral credit score to reflect integrity? A moral credit score would quantify ethical behavior, how we treat others, follow rules, and serve the common good, translating those actions into a visible rating. Think of it as a digital karma meter, using data to reward time-honored virtues. Morality is our inner compass for right and wrong. Though shaped by culture, religion, and region, some values transcend borders: honesty, compassion, fairness, and respect. They echo through ancient scriptures, modern laws, and everyday ethics. Despite our differences, we share more moral DNA than we often realize. Of course, morality isn't universal. What's rude in one culture may be normal in another. Therefore, any scoring system must be flexible, context-aware, and sensitive to social nuance. Religious and philosophical traditions could help shape the framework. Almost every major faith encourages truth over lies, generosity over greed, forgiveness over revenge, and community over self. But who sets the standards? Instead of a centralized authority, imagine a democratically curated framework, drawing from religious teachings, legal principles, modern ethics, and behavioral psychology. The focus wouldn't be on what you believe, but on how you behave, especially how your actions impact others and society. Modern technologies, like AI and data analytics, could identify behavioral patterns, not just isolated incidents, but consistent trends. Natural language processing might sense empathy or hostility in conversations. Blockchain could ensure tamper-proof records, adding transparency and limiting misuse. If done with care, such a system could unlock powerful benefits. It could reinforce good behavior, making kindness and accountability the norm. Trust could become the baseline, reducing scams, hate speech, and misinformation, and making both digital and real-world spaces safer. University admissions and sensitive job roles could become more transparent and fair. As people become more aware that their actions carry moral consequences, crime rate might decline, stress level could drop, and empathy might rise. Even public officials and leaders would be held to visible standards, putting merit above manipulation and character above charisma. But for all its promise, the idea comes with serious risks. Privacy is a major concern. No one wants to feel watched all the time. So data collection must be transparent, voluntary, and always based on consent. There's also the risk of abuse. Fake good deeds, performative virtue. Authorities might misuse scores to target dissenters or minorities. And in the worst case, algorithmic bias could unfairly label people, damaging reputations and lives. A rigid system could create new forms of exclusion, a kind of digital outcast. Morality shouldn't become mere conformity because true progress depends on dissent, diversity, and ethical courage. Since everyone makes mistakes, a moral score must allow space for forgiveness, growth, and the chance to rebuild trust. Because if morality becomes transactional, performed for reward instead of principle, it risks losing its soul. The goal shouldn't be to control people, but to cultivate conscience. China's social credit system is often cited as a warning, marked by overreach, opacity, and loss of personal freedom. Which makes one thing clear: any system like this must be built on consent, openness, and democratic design. We already navigate informal moral scores, likes, ratings, reviews, but they're often emotional, reactive, and messy. A structured, thoughtful system could reduce that chaos and promote positive values instead. The idea of a universal moral credit score is both alluring and alarming. It promises a more ethical and accountable society, but threatens privacy and individuality. Still, in a world rushing past kindness and empathy, maybe it's not scoring virtue, but simply doing the right thing still matters. Because in life, it's not the noise we make, but the good we do, that echoes as our legacy.